in this dark hole in the first place, I think that's something that needs to be taken into consideration.
But those 17-year-olds didn't pull the trigger, and they didn't light that car on fire. And those boys in Killeen, which is up the road from where I am right now, knew very well that if you put two, white people in the back of a trunk and you're in Bell County, Texas in 2000 or 1999, you're probably going to get a jury that's mostly Caucasian. And so, I think that right now, until this country gets a consensus on how it feels, how the voters feel about the death penalty, I think that the only relevant argument, Vinny, to answer your question would be this scientific development that has occurred in the past 20 years about the development of the brain at a certain age. Because these defendants have exhausted all of their appellate situations where they could have argued that there was racial bias, that the jury wasn't allowed to hear certain information, but they've exhausted all of their remedies. And the prosecutor now changes her mind about whether or not she should have sought the death penalty after executing that trial and reaching its conclusion, based on her strategy. And so we can't go back and look at these things retroactively. But I do think that what we're talking about is that in 20 years, our nation has progressed in its opinion about the death penalty. And that's why we're seeing such confusion here. And that's why it's been such a shock that after 17 years of no federal executions, we've had 3 in a row.
If the